Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live alone as an older man? To finally embrace a life of peace, freedom, and self-discovery without the distractions of others? It might sound intimidating at first, but what if I told you that living solo could unlock the most fulfilling and rewarding chapter of your life? In this video, I'm going to share with you the powerful emotional and practical benefits of living alone, especially as you get older. From gaining the freedom to be yourself and explore your passions, to rediscovering simple pleasures and experiencing personal growth, there's so much to gain. If you're already living alone or considering it, you'll discover how this lifestyle can allow you to truly connect with yourself, create a space that reflects your personality, and even improve your mental health. By the end, you'll understand why living alone isn't just about solitude. It's a chance to live life on your terms and experience a sense of fulfillment you may have never thought possible. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be inspired to embrace the freedom and independence that comes with living solo. Don't miss out on the incredible benefits waiting for you. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. Number 1. Freedom to be yourself. One of the most profound and liberating joys of living alone as an older man is the incomparable freedom it provides. Freedom that soothes the soul and ignites the spirit. In the peaceful solitude of your own space, you are no longer bound by anyone else's expectations or routines. You wake up each day to the rhythm of your own heart, not the ticking of a clock dictated by others. From the moment your eyes open in the morning to the peaceful quiet of the evening, every decision is yours to make. There's no one else to answer to, no compromises to be made. Just the pure pleasure of existing on your terms. I vividly remember the first time I truly embraced living alone. The relief of not having to adjust my life to accommodate anyone else was nothing short of exhilarating. The simple act of waking up at my own pace, without the pressure to rush or cater to another's needs, was a gift I hadn't realized I was missing. The joy of preparing breakfast just the way I love it, without a hint of compromise, felt like a small act of rebellion against a lifetime of conformity. I found comfort in spending the morning immersing myself in a book, working on a passion project, or simply reflecting on life without the nagging interruptions of daily obligations. Take, for example, the story of a man in his early 60s who shared with me how living alone had allowed him to reconnect with a part of himself he thought he had lost forever. He rediscovered his love for painting, a passion that had been dormant for years. Without the constant distractions of family life or the need to make space for others, he was able to transform a small corner of his living room into a sanctuary of creativity. The freedom to paint whenever the mood struck him, sometimes late into the night, was something he could never have experienced in a shared space. Those quiet hours became his most precious, his most productive, and his most fulfilling. His soul flourished in that solitude, and his art came alive in ways he could never have imagined before. For me, the most powerful aspect of living alone lies in the ability to nurture your passions and dive into your interests without hesitation or judgment. Whether it's a quirky hobby that others might find odd or a long-forgotten dream you've finally decided to chase, living alone gives you the unparalleled freedom to indulge in the things that make you feel alive. It's the kind of freedom that stretches wide open the possibilities of who you can become, and it's a freedom that only solitude can offer. Living alone as an older man is not just about the absence of others. It's about the presence of yourself in the purest, most untainted form. It's about rediscovering who you are and what makes your heart sing, and it is nothing short of life-changing. 2. Peace. The unparalleled serenity that comes with living alone is often celebrated as one of the greatest joys of this phase of life. After decades of raising children, navigating the complexities of a career, and juggling the responsibilities that come with building and maintaining a family, the solace of solitude becomes an indescribable gift. For many older men, the peace that accompanies living alone is nothing short of transformative. It's a chance to step away from the constant noise, the constant demands, and the fast pace of life. This tranquility, this profound quiet, becomes a cherished reprieve, a space where they can finally breathe, where the heart can find its rhythm without the interruptions of others' needs. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The luxury of peace is something many men begin to truly appreciate once the house is quieter, once the children have moved out, and once the frenetic pace of life slows down. It's in these moments of solitude that the profound stillness of living alone offers them a chance to reconnect with themselves, to reflect deeply on their lives, and to embrace the beauty of the present. Gone are the distractions of household chores, the hum of conversations, or the rush to fulfill commitments to others. Here, within the silence, there is space for thoughts to settle and for deep emotional renewal. I vividly remember the first time I experienced the soul-deep peace that comes with living alone. It was an early Sunday morning, one of those rare, sacred mornings when the world outside seemed to still be asleep, wrapped in a quiet embrace, as though it too had decided to pause for a moment of reflection. The sun had yet to fully rise, casting a soft, golden glow across the horizon. The air was crisp, and everything felt untouched, as if the world was holding its breath in anticipation. I made myself a steaming cup of coffee, the scent filling the room with warmth, and I found myself instinctively drawn to the window. As I sat by the glass, the outside world felt like a distant memory. The only sounds that reached my ears were the gentle chirping of birds, greeting the dawn, and the soft rustle of leaves dancing in the morning breeze. There was no traffic, no voices, no demands on my time. There was simply silence, a silence so profound, so comforting, that it felt almost sacred. At that moment, the weight of the world seemed to melt away, replaced by an overwhelming sense of peace, a peace that only comes when there is no one else around to pull you in different directions. It was as if the very air around me had been infused with calmness, and I was finally able to experience what it meant to be truly still, both inside and out. Can you imagine having such a morning every day? A morning where you can sip your coffee in perfect peace, surrounded only by the soft sounds of nature. Perhaps you sit on a quiet balcony, overlooking the garden you've nurtured over the years, with no rushing, no deadlines, no need to be anywhere else. You are free to simply be, to feel the weight of the world lift off your shoulders, and to just exist in the present moment. There's no need to fill the silence with distractions, no need to speak when there's nothing that requires your words. The stillness itself becomes a gift, a time to reflect deeply and fully on who you are and what matters most to you. This calm, this profound quiet, transforms the space around you into a sanctuary, your private retreat from the chaos of the world. In this sacred space, your mind and heart can finally find clarity. Without the noise of daily life, you are free to reconnect with your thoughts and feelings on a deeper level. You gain an enhanced awareness of yourself and the world around you, discovering things you never had the time or space to notice before. There is no rush, no pressure to hurry up or catch up with anyone else. It's in these moments of solitude that you can truly connect with the deepest parts of your soul, to explore your desires, your dreams, your fears, and your truths. And as you do, you begin to appreciate the beauty in the smallest of things. The quiet joy that comes from a bird's song or the rustle of leaves in the wind. You begin to see that life's most beautiful moments are often the unspoken ones, the ones that are felt deeply in the stillness of the heart. Living alone offers more than just silence. It offers space, space to think, to grow, to heal, and to simply be. It's a rare gift, one that many never experience fully until later in life. And for those who do, it becomes a treasure they can never take for granted. In this quiet, you find the freedom to finally be yourself in ways you never could when you were caught up in the whirlwind of responsibilities and obligations. It's a reminder that sometimes, to find peace, we must first learn to embrace the silence and allow ourselves to simply exist in it. This space, this peaceful solitude, becomes not just a luxury but a profound blessing, one that can heal, renew, and bring a sense of fulfillment that can only come when we step away from the noise and embrace the simple joy of being alone, in the quiet, in the peace, with nothing but the sound of your own heart beating in the stillness. 3. Personal growth and self-discovery. Living alone as an older man is not just a mere change in lifestyle. It is a profound and transformative journey of personal growth and self-discovery. It offers an extraordinary opportunity to reflect deeply on the course your life has taken, the choices you've made, and the path you want to carve moving forward. In silence and solitude, you are granted the precious gift of time. Time to think, to question, and to reconnect with parts of yourself that may have been buried under the weight of life's constant demands. I vividly remember a time in my life when I found myself standing at a crossroads. The relentless hustle and bustle of daily life had become so deafening that I had lost touch with my true desires and dreams. My inner voice, once loud and clear, had been drowned out by obligations, expectations, and noise. I couldn't even recall what brought me joy or ignited my passion anymore. But then, everything changed. When I began living alone, a quiet yet powerful shift occurred. The peace of solitary evenings and weekends became fertile soil for self-reflection. It was in these moments of solitude that I finally began to hear my voice again. Faint at first, but growing louder with each passing day. I rediscovered journaling, a practice I had abandoned long ago. With every word I wrote, I unearthed long-forgotten dreams, passions, and ambitions that I had set aside in favor of meeting the needs of others. Through this simple act of reflection, I began to heal the wounds I hadn't even realized were there. Slowly, I reconnected with the man I had lost sight of in the chaos of life. One man's story, which I stumbled upon in an online forum, encapsulates the power of living alone as an older individual. After years of a demanding career and the dissolution of his marriage, he found himself seeking solitude. He moved into a small, humble cabin by a tranquil lake, where he was able to immerse himself in the stillness that allowed his soul to breathe. There, he began journaling again, diving into the wisdom of philosophy and embracing the calming discipline of meditation. His story was a testament to the profound transformation that solitude can bring. He spoke of how the isolation stripped away the layers of societal expectations, judgments, and distractions that had clouded his sense of self. In the silence, he was finally able to rediscover his authentic self, free from the constraints of what others expected him to be. This kind of personal growth is not just about finding who you are. It is about becoming the truest, most unencumbered version of yourself. It is about shedding the skin of old identities and embracing the wisdom and desires that come with age. In the quiet of solitude, you may just find the clarity and peace that has eluded you for so long, leading you to a deeper understanding of who you are and what you truly seek in life. The journey of self-discovery that comes with living alone is not always easy, but it is undeniably powerful, a rebirth of sorts, where every moment spent in introspection is a step closer to living a life that is fully, unapologetically yours. 4. Control over your environment. Living alone brings with it a profound sense of autonomy and freedom, a unique opportunity to take full control over your personal space in ways that many never fully experience. In a world where so many people are constantly influenced by the tastes, needs, and preferences of others, whether through family dynamics, shared living arrangements, or societal pressures, living alone offers a rare and deeply empowering gift: the ability to create a sanctuary that is entirely your own. When you live alone, the power to shape and define your environment becomes yours to command. Your space becomes a reflection of you, your deepest desires, your tastes, and the life you've built. It's a blank canvas where every decision, from the smallest detail to the grandest change, is entirely yours to make. Imagine waking up every morning in a room that mirrors your personality, where every piece of furniture, every color on the wall, and every book on the shelf tells the story of your life, your tastes, and your journey. The atmosphere in your home can evoke whatever feeling you desire, whether it's the calming, organized serenity of a meticulously arranged space, or the warm, lived-in comfort of a home that embraces a more relaxed, casual approach to clutter and chaos. The beauty of living alone is that you get to curate every corner, every detail, without compromise or negotiation. The space becomes an extension of yourself, reflecting not only who you are, but who you want to be. I recall a dear friend of mine who, after going through a heartbreaking divorce, decided to leave the city and start fresh in a charming little house nestled in the peaceful countryside. It wasn't an easy transition, but it offered him the chance to reconnect with himself. This man, an avid collector of vintage cameras, had always been passionate about his hobby. But for years, he had tucked it away, his collection overshadowed by the needs and desires of his former spouse. She never truly understood the appeal of his cameras, and his passion was quietly dimmed by years of compromise. But now, living alone in his quiet retreat, he reclaimed his passion and his space. He transformed one of the spare rooms in his house into a gallery, a sanctuary for his collection. The walls, once bare and forgotten, were now adorned with meticulously displayed cameras, each one a piece of history, each one carrying a memory and a story of its own. For him, walking into that room each morning was nothing short of transformative. It filled him with pride, joy, and a deep sense of fulfillment. It wasn't just a collection. It was a symbol of his freedom, his independence, and his ability to reclaim what was truly important to him. That room was his sacred space, a reflection of his passions and a testament to the life he was now living on his terms. Similarly, I think of an older gentleman I once spoke to, who shared his own experience of transformation after his children moved out and started their own lives. For years, his home had been a lively, bustling space filled with the laughter and chaos of raising children. But once they were gone, he found himself in a quiet, somewhat empty house. At first, it felt foreign, even uncomfortable. But then, instead of feeling the loss, he embraced the opportunity to redefine his space. He decided to turn his home into a reflection of himself, a true sanctuary that mirrored his personality and the depth of his experiences. He filled his home with antiques, family heirlooms, and bookshelves stacked high with his favorite novels and life's most treasured reads. His living room became a quiet gallery of his life's journey. Each object, each piece of furniture, was carefully chosen to evoke memories of places he had traveled, people he had loved, and the moments that had shaped him. His home became a canvas, each detail infused with meaning and purpose. He told me how deeply rewarding it was to sit in his favorite chair at the end of the day, surrounded by the objects that held the memories of a lifetime. His home wasn't just a place to rest. It had become a living, breathing archive of his journey, his triumphs, his losses, his passions, and his legacy. This ability to control and curate one's environment can be an incredibly profound experience. It's not merely about decorating or organizing, it's about taking ownership of your space and, in doing so, reclaiming a sense of ownership over your life. There's something deeply therapeutic about surrounding yourself with the things that matter to you, things that speak to your heart and your soul. Every room becomes a reflection of your values, your interests, and the essence of who you are. In both of these stories, there is a common theme. Living alone offers the unparalleled freedom to cultivate your environment exactly as you see fit. It's an act of self-expression, an opportunity to design a life and a space that is uniquely yours. The joy of coming home to a place that feels completely your own is immeasurable. The pride of knowing that every item, every corner, and every object has been chosen intentionally to reflect who you are and what you love is a deeply fulfilling experience. And it doesn't stop at just the aesthetic. The space you create becomes a reflection of your personal growth, your journey, and your inner world. Whether it's a room filled with vintage treasures, a wall adorned with art that speaks to your soul, or shelves lined with the books that shaped your thoughts and dreams, your environment becomes a visual representation of the life you've lived, the person you've become, and the person you are still becoming. It's a living, evolving testament to your identity and your passions, a daily reminder that you are in control, that you are the architect of your own space, your own life. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. In the end, the ability to design your environment is not just about creating a comfortable place to live, it's about crafting a sanctuary for your mind, body, and soul. It's about building a space where you can breathe, relax, and be fully yourself, without judgment, without compromise. It's about creating a home that nurtures you, that inspires you, and that empowers you to live fully and authentically. And for those who choose to live alone, this power to shape and define your world is one of the greatest gifts life can offer. 5. Financial independence. At first glance, living alone may appear to be an intimidating prospect, one fraught with the fear of higher costs and potential isolation. However, for many older men, it becomes a profound pathway to unparalleled financial freedom. The moment you no longer have the responsibility of supporting others, a door to self-sufficiency swings wide open, offering you complete dominion over your finances. This newfound autonomy allows you to make decisions that are rooted in your desires and needs, without the weight of obligations to anyone else. You have the power to downsize to a smaller, more affordable space, move to a place that feels like home, or carefully tailor your budget in a way that aligns with your dreams. I remember vividly a conversation I had with an old colleague who, after retiring, faced the daunting task of transitioning to a life of financial independence. He had spent years living in a spacious family home, surrounded by memories of his children's laughter and the bustle of family life. Yet, upon retirement, he chose to sell his large house and relocate to a cozy, minimalist apartment in the heart of the city. Initially, he was gripped by anxiety, unsure of how he would manage the costs of living alone. But what he discovered was nothing short of transformative. The reduced expenses gave him the gift of comfort and stability, and with the extra financial freedom, he was able to explore passions he had shelved for decades. No longer burdened by the constant upkeep of a sprawling home, he found the time and resources to delve into photography, a long-held dream he had never been able to pursue. Another powerful story that stands out to me came from an online forum where a retiree shared his experience of downsizing to a smaller home. At first, he thought the sacrifice of space would be too much, but what he soon realized was far more rewarding than he could have ever imagined. The decision to move into a more affordable space gave him the financial breathing room he so desperately needed. Not only did his living expenses plummet, but it also freed up the money he had longed for to explore the world. This financial liberation empowered him to take a long-awaited solo trip to Europe to celebrate his 70th birthday. He remarked that had he still been maintaining the burden of a larger household, this dream would have remained just that, a dream. The journey to the continent was more than just a vacation. It was a testament to the unspoken power of living life on your terms, proving that financial independence can unlock doors to experiences that once seemed impossible. The liberation that comes with living alone is not just about money. It's about reclaiming control of your life, your time, and your future. It's about the freedom to invest in yourself, to follow your passions, and to create the life you've always wanted but perhaps never thought possible. When you stand unburdened by the weight of external responsibilities, you are free to prioritize your happiness, explore new opportunities, and, perhaps most importantly, live without regrets. 6. Improved mental health. Living alone as an older man can profoundly transform your mental health, offering a deep and unparalleled sense of inner peace. For many, the gift of solitude becomes a sanctuary, a refuge from the relentless pressures and overwhelming expectations that society places upon us. It's in these quiet, sacred moments alone that healing truly begins. Without the noise of the outside world, you're given the rare opportunity to reconnect with your true self, to rediscover what makes your soul sing with joy and fulfillment. Whether it's through the grounding practice of meditation, the invigorating flow of exercise, or simply savoring the beauty of your own company, solitude allows you to embrace your rhythms and desires, untethered from external distractions. I vividly recall a dark chapter in my life when the weight of the world felt unbearable. During those times of intense struggle, it was the stillness of living alone that became my greatest solace. I would often take long, reflective walks at dusk, each step carrying me further away from the chaos of life, each breath reconnecting me to the serenity of nature. The quiet of my home, once merely a space, became my sacred sanctuary, a place where I could unravel the tangled mess of thoughts and emotions without the crushing weight of judgment or interference. It was here, in my solitude, that I found the strength to confront my inner turmoil, to process and heal, piece by piece. I came across a poignant post from a man in his late 60s on Reddit, who shared his deeply personal experience with living alone. He spoke about how it became a powerful tool for managing his anxiety. The constant barrage of noise and external demands had faded away, and in its place, he discovered a life-changing stillness. He began to cultivate a daily routine that nurtured his mental health, practicing yoga in his living room, taking long, meditative walks through nature, and, most importantly, learning to enjoy the comforting presence of his own company. In the silence, he found a profound peace, a sense of calm and well-being that he had never known before. This newfound tranquility was not just an absence of chaos, but the presence of a healing inner harmony that allowed him to thrive in a way he hadn't thought possible. Living alone, particularly in the later years of life, can be a gateway to emotional freedom. It's an invitation to reclaim your mind, your body, and your spirit. It's in the quiet solitude that we truly learn to listen to ourselves, to our needs, and to the whispers of our hearts. 7. Strengthened relationships. Living alone, in its surprising quietude, can bring a profound sense of renewal to your relationships, nurturing them in ways you might never have expected. When the constant hum of daily interactions fades away, the time you do share with others becomes all the more precious, imbued with a depth and significance that you might have previously overlooked. The absence of everyday distractions allows you to truly see the people in your life, and to savor each conversation and interaction as an opportunity to connect on a deeper, more meaningful level. I've experienced this transformation firsthand. Once I embraced the solitude of living alone, I noticed a remarkable shift in my relationships with family and friends. No longer were our meetings a mere routine, or worse, an obligation. Instead, they became moments I eagerly anticipated, filled with genuine warmth and excitement. Conversations that once felt surface level blossomed into heartfelt exchanges, where every word felt weighted with significance. The laughter, the shared stories, and even the silences carried a sense of presence that was so deeply fulfilling, so real. It was as though the distance from others allowed me to reconnect with them more authentically and profoundly. There's a moving story I heard about a man who, after living alone for several years, discovered that his relationships with his children had undergone a beautiful transformation. Instead of the usual tension that often arises when families live under the same roof, his relationship with his children blossomed into something much more intentional and loving. Their visits, once filled with obligation and strain, became joyous occasions he eagerly awaited. The house, once a place of routine, was now a sanctuary, a peaceful haven where both father and children could unwind, communicate openly, and share their hearts without the daily pressures that had once clouded their connection. The relaxed, welcoming atmosphere of his home seemed to breathe new life into their interactions, and it was clear that they, too, had come to cherish these moments of quality time as much as he did. In this quiet space, they found a richer, deeper bond, one that was more about truly being present with one another, appreciating the simplicity of being together. And it's in these quiet, shared moments that relationships are often not just maintained, but strengthened, woven together with threads of understanding, love, and genuine connection. 8. Independence and confidence. Living alone as an older man isn't just about solitude. It's about embracing a powerful sense of independence and an unwavering confidence that grows with each passing day. It's about becoming the sole architect of your own life, where every decision, no matter how big or small, is yours to make. This autonomy can be nothing short of liberating, especially as the years pass and the world around you shifts. The more I reflect on it, the more I realize that this independence isn't simply about managing on your own. It's about rediscovering a profound sense of self-reliance and inner strength that can transform your entire existence. I vividly recall the first time I had to fix something around the house by myself, a leaky faucet. For years, I'd always called someone else to take care of it, delegating the task to someone else who had the expertise. But this time, there was no one to rely on. It was just me, standing there in my kitchen, facing a small but persistent challenge that had always felt bigger than it was. I took a deep breath, pushed past the anxiety, and found myself diving into the task. I watched tutorials online, armed myself with a set of tools I hadn't touched in years, and slowly, methodically, I began to fix the problem. When that faucet stopped leaking, when I heard the satisfying sound of water flowing without a single drip, it was more than just fixing a simple household issue. It was a victory, a triumph of my capability, A moment where I proved to myself that I still had the power to tackle whatever came my way. The feeling of accomplishment was indescribable. It wasn't about the faucet. It was about reclaiming my strength, my ability to stand tall in the face of any challenge life might throw at me. One man in his 70s shared his powerful story in an online forum that still resonates with me. After the loss of his beloved wife, he found himself lost in the overwhelming silence of his home, uncertain about how he would navigate life alone. At first, the thought of being solely responsible for everything, managing the house, cooking meals, even taking care of minor repairs, was daunting, almost impossible. But over time, he began to learn, to grow, and to embrace this new chapter of his life. Slowly, the weight of independence lifted his spirit. As he mastered each new task, fixing a broken appliance, preparing a meal from scratch, he realized something profound. He had become his person again. He felt a sense of pride, a deep and lasting fulfillment that he hadn't experienced in years. This newfound confidence didn't just make him more self-sufficient. It gave him a sense of purpose, a reminder that even in his later years, he was still capable, still strong, and still worthy of the triumphs life had to offer. This independence, this quiet but powerful confidence, became his lifeline, his anchor to a life filled with dignity and self-respect. 9. Rediscovery of simple pleasures. Living alone opens up a world of profound discovery, allowing you to reconnect with the simple yet deeply meaningful pleasures of life. When you're not overwhelmed by the constant hustle of everyday distractions and the noise of others, you finally have the space to slow down, breathe, and truly savor the moments that once seemed small or insignificant. Without the rush, you begin to notice the quiet joy in the simple acts that bring your heart peace and warmth. Whether it's curling up with a good book, getting lost in the vibrant colors of a blooming garden, or basking in the serenity of a warm cup of tea while the world around you stirs into motion, these moments take on a whole new depth. For me, the journey of rediscovering these simple pleasures started the moment I embraced the solitude of living alone. I had always been a morning person, but it wasn't until I found myself living in the quiet of my own space that I truly began to experience the sacred stillness of the early hours. There's something magical about the way the world feels at peace in those moments before the chaos of the day unfolds. The air is crisp, the world is calm, and I can hear nothing but the soft rustling of leaves in the gentle morning breeze. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. In the stillness of these mornings, I found myself turning to something I had always dreamed of but never found time to do: gardening. My backyard, once just a patch of grass, became my sanctuary, a place where I could dig my hands into the soil, plant seeds, and watch life unfold before my eyes. Each day, as I tended to my small garden, I felt a deep sense of fulfillment and connection to something greater than myself. The simple act of nurturing something with my own hands became a source of immense joy, a joy that I had never allowed myself to fully experience before. The joy of watching a seed sprout, of seeing a flower bloom, and of knowing that I had created something beautiful from nothing. It was in these moments that I realized how much I had missed by rushing through life. The stillness, the patience, the beauty of nature unfolding at its own pace. These things had eluded me in the chaos of my former existence. Now, every morning, as I sip my tea and watch the first rays of sunlight kiss my plants, I am filled with a sense of peace and gratitude that I never knew existed before. I recently came across a touching video of an older man sharing his daily routine of tending to his garden. His face radiated with quiet joy as he described the hours he spent carefully cultivating his plants, something he had come to cherish deeply in his later years. He spoke of the satisfaction of creating a small, vibrant oasis in his life, a place of calm and beauty. The pride in his voice, the love he spoke with as he described each plant, each blossom, was a reminder of how these simple acts of care and attention could fill our lives with an immense sense of purpose and fulfillment. His words resonated deeply with me, as I realized that in living alone, we are gifted the opportunity to find our own oasis, our own spaces of quiet joy. We can finally tend to our inner gardens, allowing ourselves to bloom in ways we never thought possible. As we wrap up, I hope this journey through rediscovering the simple pleasures of life has inspired you to embrace the quiet, peaceful moments that surround us each day. Whether it's finding joy in nature, creating a peaceful routine, or simply taking the time to appreciate the little things, living alone gives us the unique opportunity to truly connect with ourselves and the world around us. So, what have you learned so far? What is one simple pleasure you'll make time for in your life after watching this video? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please share in the comments below what you've learned and how you plan to bring it into your daily life. Let's inspire each other to live more intentionally and with greater joy. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us, and we'd love to have you join us for more content like this. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.